Playoffs. It's different this year. San Diego and Philly are in the final round of 8 for the first time in a long time, and a new kid on the block, Tampa Bay. Now, Hank Stram has taken a team into the playoffs for the first time, and then he's taken veteran teams in who've been there before. How important is experience in the playoffs as a coach?
Well, first of all, Kurt, I think experience is a very important factor, but I think a lot depends on the background of the coaches and the players involved. Both of these coaches have been involved in a lot of big games, specifically the Rose Bowl. So I think they're going to do a good job of selling their squads and the idea that it isn't just important to get to the playoffs. The important thing is to win the playoffs. And I think that's what the approach is going to be on the part of both coaches here in this game this afternoon.
All right, Henry, and that's the experience factor, Brent.
Kurt, thank you very much. Now, one of the players that Hank will be isolating on is number 63, Leroy Selmon at Tampa Bay.
Very much, Brent. As a matter of fact, when most teams meet Tampa Bay, the number one problem that they think about is how to handle Leroy Selmon. He is definitely the focal point of the Tampa Bay defense. So I talked to him to find out exactly what he has in mind for this game. In only their 4th year of existence, Tampa Bay has entered the rarefied atmosphere of the NFL playoffs. They've done it due mainly to that true source of orange pride, their number 1 ranked defense. The Bucs, first in the NFL against both the pass and the run, are led by number 63, NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Leroy Selmon. Selmon, the Buccaneers' first draft choice ever, is often double and even triple teamed, but still gets to the ball. But as awesome as the super quick defensive end is on the field, he is surprisingly placid off it.
I like to leave football out on the football field. I like to play aggressive football and be tough out there. But after the game is over, I like to just kind of go back and relax and be a regular person and not walk around on the streets beating up people.
Are you really shy?
Yeah, I think I am. People have told me that I have a shy personality, and I guess that kind of comes from home, being raised on a farm and everything. You never was around a lot of people all the time, and but I'm kind of coming out of it a little bit.
Does it help you having a brother playing on the same team?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I played with Dewey ever since I've been playing football. We started back in the 8th grade, and coming out of college, it was said that we were never going to play together again, that we would be drafted by 2 different football teams. Being drafted number 1 was great, but having my brother drafted on the same team was the highlight of that whole day.
Leroy, I have seen some extraordinary footage of you being double and triple teamed and still making the tackle. Are you aware of that when it's happening?
That's sort of an instinctive thing. You don't really know what you're doing. You're basically out there trying to do your job, and number 1 during a passing situation is to get to the quarterback, no matter who's there. And a lot of times you don't realize that you have rushed against 2 people or maybe 3 people, and when you do look at the film, you say, I didn't know they were doing that to me.
Leroy, what difference has winning made to you personally?
Well, you feel a lot more gratified, I guess, because when you win, you are succeeding, and the hard work that you put out on the football field is paying off for you, and the whole atmosphere is different. It's a lot more loose, a lot more relaxed, and you have a lot more fun.
What about when you're not on the field, when you're about town? Does it make a difference?
Well, you can go into some nice restaurants. You know, when you're losing, I always went to McDonald's through the drive-in windows. But after you win, you know, people, you can go out and, you know, people like to talk about football, and it's fun to talk about that. You can talk about winning instead of talking about losing, and you know, that makes all the difference in the world. This week, Coach McKay predicted that in a low-scoring game, Tampa Bay would win. Does that put a lot of pressure on you as a member of the defense? Right. We don't mind having the pressure on us. We want to keep it low scoring. We always figure we go into each game with the approach that we want to make it a shutout and not let the team score it all. And if we can do that, we know we're going to end up with a tie. With a tie.
There'll be no tie. We'll play all night to break that. Down in the pits, number 75, Stan Walters draws Big Leroy today, and that'll be one of the duels to watch. Irv is really hurting wearing this Tampa Bay cap. We'll come back and let him talk about his Philadelphia Eagles as the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment.
And this is where we keep the Sony.
This is my wife, these are my kids, this is my Sony.
The difference between you and me, Perkins, is that you own a television and I own a Sony.
There's one television people are proud enough of to brag about. The only television with the patented one-gun, one-lens system that won an Emmy. There's only one Trinitron, and it's for